Hey guys, Mustafa the Ignorant is here, back in today, after a month. Uh, Not any particular reason. I didn't have home access in my internet last couple of few weeks, so that one reason. But also didn't have much things to say. Actually, I was thinking about to say a few things about something, but I was not able to organize that. So um, I thought to talk about it. I had did some work. I bought some palm tree and also other plants around to put it in my house, inside my room, and to produce oxygen. Because in the winter, here in Canada, we have to keep our windows and the door shut all the time, and also constantly produce heat. Gas produce the heat inside the house. So when you are home, chances are high there's a lot of carbon dioxide. So I want to mitigate some of those through having some plant around the house, and so that it produces some oxygen. And believe me, it really working, because last couple of days I had better sleep, and also much relaxed. I figured out a noticeable change in terms of your mental state and the health. I was also having respiration problems, breathing problems, so I didn't had after. So good to have some plants in your house. That actually I did some research in internet, try to see what kind of plants produce more oxygen and they can live inside the house. So I didn't find the one that I saw in internet, but it's closer to that, palm tree and some other plants. They're a bit expensive, but I think it's worth it. Anyway, that's not the reason I came to internet. On Facebook Live today, but it's mostly because I'm also trying to. I'm doing my fire tonight, and would like to talk about. Talk about something that about freedom. I was reading a book of Epictetus. I'll bring it down here. Yeah. Probably in the history, Epictetus is one of the philosophers in our human history. Talk a lot about the freedom. It's a nice book, nice handbook. You can keep all the time and read whenever you feel like. He talked about the freedom because. He was slave most part of his life. Later he got his status as a free man, but then he tried to explain what freedom means. So I was reading some of his discussions that his student did, Arian, in the book Enchiridion. Anyway, I don't know how to pronounce it. It's the Greek word. It's a journal, basically. So I want to talk about freedom. What is that? So, the way I want to go by him, because I agree a lot about what he said 2,000 years ago, right after Jesus. Right after, around the time Jesus, not his time, after Jesus died, if the story is correct. And the freedom that he tried to explain is much closer, I think, is to Buddhism. Not exactly, but it's much closer to it. Basically, I think, what I understood, he tried to explain if you have the desire to become master, then you are not free. If you have any kind of desire unfulfilled, you are not free. If you want to avoid anything you disgust, you don't like, you are not free. So the reason I'm talking about this freedom thing, because even lately, I had a lot of regrets in my life. Even lately, recent times, regrets about mistakes, guilt, shame, sad, anger, all kind of that we call lower emotions. I had a lot of regrets like that. Most of them until recently. Even probably still I have few of them. But I'm conscious and aware when it comes. And if you have regrets in your life, which is very natural because we make a lot of mistakes in our life as a process to grow up, and we never can change it, and that's the thing. You never can change, but you still have the regrets. That time, you are not free. So practically he tried to mean you are a slave of your own desire. You want the freedom. Freedom doesn't come from outside. That statement probably not new for you, but how many of us really apply in our life? We are always slave to our own desire. We want good things to happen for our children. We want our parents live as long as they can. We want to live as much as long we can. So, on Epictetus, it means only the wise people have freedom. The people who are not wise, I'll say who have not that kind of intelligence, never can be free. Never. Impossible. So, that is freedom. If you want to, by nature, human wants to be free. I think it's a human nature. But we don't know how. As we grow, early part of our life, we are dependent on our parents, on our society, on the school, on so many other things for educations and our livelihoods, family, and we never ever able to get freedom or free the way it is. We always think about it. That's why a lot of people say freedom is illusions, because it's never there. And especially atheist people, because atheist people nowadays, they say there is no free will. So if you have no free will, how can you have freedom? That's nonsense. Nonsense in a way that, the way they define free will, in my opinion, is not correct. Neuroscientists or even some other people, biologists or some other atheist people, even philosophers, they say there is no free will and everything determined. Problem is, free will, they confused opposite to determination or deterministic mind. They don't understand deterministic mind and the free will coexist. It exists together. Okay, there is a degree of free will, and there is after that free will, it is everything deterministic. So your life, the way you born, the way you grow up, in one hand it is deterministic, but another hand you always have kind of choice to react with your environment consciously. That is how you are different as a human from other animals. Animal doesn't have that free will, doesn't have that choice. Okay, anyway, I don't want to go there because it's more complicated. But I do agree, these kinds of scientist, philosopher who says life has no free will. If they don't have free will, then what? Okay, how you make people responsible for their own own actions, or own their thinking, or own their words? So your thought, your words, and your act is related to your free will. Whether you exercise it or not, that's different. That's completely different, because not everybody has free will, because you need to have, like Epictetus said, you have to have intelligence. Only wise people have free will, because they can make the proper judgment. I think that's why they are wise. Oh man, hold on a sec. my fire alarm. I had some artificial woods and also real woods. So it's not easy to burn real woods, especially when it is big. But I'm trying anyway. Where I was. So, where I was talking about freedom. So a lot of the way freedom we want, but the way we actually act in our life, completely opposite. Hold on a sec, I need my other glass. I want to talk about something that when we want, I will share something that in my past that happens. One time I was in prison for some reason, and I was in the prison for about 90 days. And then I started to talk to a lot of people there, and in the prison there are two types of people. One kind of people, they want to get out as soon as possible, and another kind of people, they don't want to get out. So right before they have a time to get out, they do another crime so that they can stay back in the prison. And the reason is that is the way, the kind of life they like, and they want to stay there. And this, when I was talking to them, what they said is, outside world much more difficult for me to live there. Nobody gives me a job, and the life out there is very difficult, and if I'm in the prison, I get my respect. People actually fear of me, and I get my food, shelter, and everything what I want. So they are actually happy being in the prison, and so I was a bit surprised. And anyway, then I also found the other group who just waiting every moment, every day when they will get out. Of course, they are not happy. They are not. They feel like it's a prison. And my 90 days when I was there, I read a lot, and they gave me any book that I wanted to read. So I had plenty of time to read, and this was a big change, big things that happened in my life. And I'll say I feel good that that's give me kind of way looking at life differently. Anyway, there's one another thing, the prison, which practically means lack of freedom or no freedom, I'll say. So some people get married. That one of the my own regrets, that I married to wrong person, or she married to married to me, and I was the wrong person for her. And so, in certain way, our life was more like a prison, and we both got rid of it. And we had to wait until the point when we got independence, financially, I'll say. We were together 16 years only because we have a young kid, and also because financially we are not stable. So we had to depend each other. And when we got independence financially, and my child got a little bit older, 15 or 16, I will say. So we got divorced because she was okay, I was okay, and my child is about in older teenage. So independence was there, so we got divorced. And practically we probably were in the prison. And at least that is the way I look at it. I got getting out from the prison, I was not happy. I was very depressed, very sad, because that prison, like those prisoners, I want to be that prison, and that was my world. And I never want to get out of that prison. But once I was forced, I'll say, to get out of it, whether surroundings made it happen or maybe other things as well. But I got out the prison, and now I want to tell something. When you got out the prison, you happen to become lonely. It is very natural that you suddenly become alone. You know, I'm going to show you something. I have this poster a couple of weeks ago. I had it many years, but I never really put it on the wall. I don't know if you can see the poster of the wolf. There is one novel. I forgot the writer's name. It's called Lone Wolf. If you have the chance, you can read. I have it somewhere. I don't know where it is. Lone wolf. Lone wolf means symbolically it's the wolf that live in a group, in a tribe. Then for some reason, health reason or some other reasons, he was not able to fit in. Then the rest of the group of the wolf kicked him out. So when he was kicked out, he didn't know how to live alone, because wolves by nature live in a group. So, and in a group they prey, bigger prey, like a bull or big cattle, or even the lion and the tigers. Big wolf, big prey. So they attack big prey all together and get their food. But when that particular wolf become alone, he was not able to chase the big prey. So he has to change the habit to become happy or satisfied with a smaller prey like a chicken or a rabbit or something smaller, so that he can run. And he was also physically weak, so he's not able to prey the strong animals. They only can prey the animals that are smaller in strength. So he has to change his habit, way of life, to live alone. So when you are married, and by the way, I'll discuss why we married to wrong person in my another video. I'll say we always married to wrong person, and it's not someone's fault, but that is the way it happens. Okay, that's why a lot of people call being married you have to sacrifice. No, that's the wrong attitude. Anyway, I'll talk about that later. But that particular wolf has to live alone and have to change his habit. That is exactly the same thing happened when you get out of the prison. A prison, literally and metaphorically, the both. When you get out of it, whether any kind of belief, culture, political unit, any kind of group, association, when you get out, you become alone, and you have to learn or relearn how to live alone. And I learned it very hard way, and I'm happy that it happened in my life. And being alone also, and kind of addictions. Once you got addicted to this kinds of way of life, you never can get back to your previous life. Impossible. And you also will never have the same associations. Not your siblings, brothers, sister, friends, or any kind of associations. You will be completely different kind of animal, I would say. Wolf that start living alone. So that's why I was today here to discuss about the freedom. I'm probably not organized, and theoretically I want to define what freedom is, but I give an idea. You can do your own research. Own understanding will develop slowly. It's not something you'll get to know overnight and somebody come and tells you and you understand. No, it has to. Freedom is something you have to implement in your own practical life. Most of the time we don't do that. Completely no. So anyway, have a nice day. I'm going to enjoy my drinking and the fire tonight. And yeah, so that's my plan. And have a nice evening and wonderful night. Have a good night.